Hello everyone, this is Darpan, and today I will be giving a presentation on wireless sensor network for my seminar. Here is the outline. The presentation will be having two parts. The first part will be concentrating more on wireless sensor networks, about its introduction, commonly used terms, characteristics, design challenges, operational challenges, advantages, disadvantages, and where it can be applied. The part two will be focusing on a project that I am working on. I'll give an introduction. It has two streams. We'll be introducing both of them. What are the challenges, chances of failures, and future work. So, what is a wireless sensor network? A WSN is a wireless network that consists of spatially distributed autonomous devices using sensors to cooperatively monitor physical or environmental conditions such as temperature, sound, vibration, pressure, motion at different locations. It is a collection of sensing devices that can communicate wirelessly for recording and monitoring the physical or environmental conditions. These sensors can easily be embedded in a physical environment because of their small size, and it is based on ad hoc networks where each network node can communicate with each other directly. In these networks, data is transferred to the destination via these nodes. These are some of the commonly used terms in wireless sensor networks. So the first one is a sensor. It's a transducer that converts the physical phenomenon like heat, light, motion, vibration into the electrical signals. A sensor node is a basic unit of a network which contains onboard sensors, processor, memory, transceivers, and power supplies. And a sensor network is a large is a large network uh, that nodes deployed either inside or very close to the sensed phenomenon. The characteristics of a wireless sensor network. First of all, it is an ad hoc network, as we explained. It the power consumption constraints for nodes using batteries or energy harvesting. It has the ability to cope with network failures. That means it is resilient. Um, it supports mobility of nodes. There is a huge heterogeneity of nodes. That means different devices can be used. It is scalable to a very large extent. It can be the size of that this network can be increased or decreased as required. It is very easy to use. There is fault tolerance because in case if some nodes goes down, it doesn't um break down the whole network. And as discussed, it has scalability onto it. What are the design challenges? First of all, it is heterogeneity because there are different devices that can be used on a wireless sensor network. So these devices deployed may be of various types and need to be collaborated with each other. Other one is distributed processing. So there should be an algorithm that need to be centralized as the processing is carried out on different nodes. Low bandwidth communication. The data should be transferred efficiently between sensors. The next one is that the sensors need to coordinate with each other to produce required results, and that the sensor should be utilized in a way that produce the maximum performance and use less energy. This computation should be done quickly as new data is always being generated. So real-time consumption is also a design challenge. What are the operational challenges of wireless sensor network? Very limited storage and consumption. It has low bandwidth and high error rates. It has the errors in these communication is very common because of noisy measurements. It inherits challenges from wireless communication already, and it has some of challenges of its own. Uh, Node failures are always expected. Scalability to a large number of sensor node is a challenge also because it's not very easy to uh, increase or decrease the size of an ad hoc network. The next one is survivability in harsh environments. So in conditions where maybe underwater or in harsh climates, it could be very difficult to manage these networks. Advantages. So first one is it's flexible and it can adapt to changes. Uh, we can add any number of devices to an ad hoc network. So this is another advantage. It saves cost because It saves a lot of wiring cost, and sensors like PIR detectors are relatively very cheaper than the wires. Application, it can be applied to so many different fields like healthcare, defense, environment, uh, and which can be very beneficial for the human welfare. There are some disadvantages as well. Security is the foremost one, because WSN networks are not very secured as compared to the wire network, and hackers can easily get into it. Battery issues, nodes need to be charged at regular intervals because the battery lives of these nodes are very low. Low communication speed is comparatively low than the wired network because because the network is wireless. Distraction, wireless sensor network keep distracting by the other wireless devices or their radio waves. Cost, the wireless transmitters and receivers are costly as compared to the wired solution. Only some of the sensors are cheaper, otherwise most of these transmitters and receivers are very expensive. Attenuation, a wireless network gets weaker with the increasing number of user, or maybe at a place which is very dense. Where it can be applied at so many different places. Right now, military is using so many wireless sensor networks to for their efficiency, for their usage. It can be applied in health application, environmental applications, home applications, commercial applications, monitoring some areas, healthcare monitoring, environmental or earth sensings, air pollution monitoring, forest fire detection, landslide detection, water quality monitoring, industrial monitoring, and so many other places. So this is the second part of the presentation. Here I will be discussing about an idea which is based on wireless sensor network in containment of contagious diseases. So, in a TED talk that was recorded back in 2015, Bill Gates said that the world is not prepared for a pandemic, and that is absolutely true that we encountered in 2020. He said that we are prepared for big nuclear attacks, but we are not prepared for a small virus that has the potential to kill millions of people around the world. So, this project is very much based on an idea to be prepared beforehand. Uh, this project has two phases. The first one has a Bluetooth mobile application or a wearable device that keeps a track of whom we are getting in contact with and making sure that whosoever comes in contact with us is not tested positive for a virus. So in this application or wearable devices, each device is given a unique ID, and that keeps record of every other device that comes in range of 10 feet. And in case if a person is tested positive for a virus and update their status and infected, and our devices get the information that other device was in contact with this with our device in last 5 days, we get an alert and we can keep ourselves quarantined. The second part is more for public areas because it's very difficult to keep the market shut for a longer time. So it is based on a beacon-based system, which is installed at places with public gatherings. It keeps on scanning devices in range for their status. In case if someone in the range of that beacon in last 5 days updated their status as infected, everyone entering that area gets an alert notification so that they can be more cautious and sanitization of that area can be done. Now, what could be the challenges to these systems? So first of all is moral responsibility. It becomes our own responsibility to keep that application updated and not go to any public places in case if we are not well. The second thing would be availability of sensors and devices is very must. So in case if somebody who is not well or who is infected and do not have those devices on them, there will not be any point of this whole network. Uh, the third one is the person who is infected is not aware and do not update their status. So in case if somebody has the device on them but was not aware, but was not symptomatic and do not update any status, and goes to different places, even that network will not be able to help. The last one is the second last one is implementation of this system is very costly and need high maintenance. And the last one is that beacons and nodes failure might spread wrong or maybe no information. So in case if one of the node or maybe beacon is not working, uh, it won't be able to detect that who is infected and who is not. What are the chances of failure of this idea? Very similar applications like these. So one of those are Aroge Setu in India and Alipay in China. They were not able to control the spread of the virus as it was expected. And the biggest reason was that we were not prepared beforehand for this pandemic. What will be the future work? This is just a proposed model that I'm working on. So I am developing an Android application based on which is based on the same idea and keeps a track of other Bluetooth devices that comes in contact in last. So it keeps a record of last 5 days and they record their unique ID that is given to that application in a database for a very short period of time. Thank you so much.